Welcome in, along with Mike Renner. I'm Steve Palazzolo. Today, previewing the Orange Bowl, the semifinal of the college football playoff. Alabama taking on Oklahoma. It's all brought to you by Eckrich, the official smoked sausage of the college football playoff. If you're at the game, be sure to check out the halftime $1 million challenge. It's all powered by Eckrich. All right, Mike, let's get into the game. We're talking about the two Heisman finalists, the winner, Kyler Murray, and Tua Tagovailoa for Alabama going head-to-head. But, of course, matchup-wise, you know, Kyler's got to face this Alabama defense, and Tua has to face the Oklahoma defense. Big difference.
Yeah, that's the biggest matchup to me. It's not necessarily the quarterbacks going up against each other, but the respective offensive and defensive lines, because Oklahoma, while they were the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in the country, probably the best in terms of what they bring to the table, they're facing a defensive line that's better than anything they've seen all season long. The #1 ranked defensive player in the country in our grading, Quinnen Williams, Raekwon Davis, another guy who's been grading out well as well, and Isaiah Buggs there up front. They just have a lot of talent that Kyler Murray hasn't really seen a pass rush all season long. He's seen the highest percentage of three-man rushes all season long, has had all day to throw in that Oklahoma system. See how he performs when he has a little pressure in his face.
This is going to be a big one, yes, because you mentioned a third of his dropbacks have a three-man rush.
Yes.
That he's faced a three-man rush, and usually you have time to maneuver the pocket, navigate a little bit. I expect Bama to just come after him with 4, you know, mix in a few blitzes here and there. Mack Wilson's blitzed about 60 times from their linebacker position. So this is the matchup, because we've talked about Kyler Murray as an NFL draft prospect potentially if he does choose to go that route. And this is an NFL defense that he's going up against. So our top-graded passing quarterback, our top-graded rushing quarterback, Kyler Murray, it's definitely his biggest challenge of the season. Alabama has a pretty good secondary. They've got the pass rush. How do you see this one playing out? Can Oklahoma actually move the ball against this Bama D?
I think they'll be able to move the ball. I mean, I trust Kyler Murray as a passer. He still is one of the best, you know, the highest graded quarterback in the entire nation this year. It's not just a fluke. It's not just because he's played bad teams. It's because he's very talented with what he can do with the ball in his hands from a thrower and from a running perspective. And Marquise Brown it's difficult to cover. Any college cornerback is going to have a hard time covering him one-on-one. So they're going to have opportunities. It's can they keep up, because they've had to basically, any game they've played this year, even in the Big 12, they've had to, you know, keep up in a shootout. Alabama's offense is on another level also from what they've seen this season.
Yeah, they are. And look, if Alabama's defense has had any issues, it has been with some mobile quarterbacks, guys that bring a run-pass option. Deshaun Watson a couple times throughout his career. So Kyler at least has the skill set to give the Alabama defense some issues. Let's go to the other side, though, because here's what I did earlier today, Mike. I sorted all of the defensive players. We got some tools to work with over here at PFF. And I said, okay, give me all of the defensive players who are in the college football playoff from the 4 teams. And I'm sorting by the best defensive grades. And it took me till number 18 until I found somebody from Oklahoma. It's a big difference. You've got Clemson's defensive line and Bama's defensive line. And Notre Dame's got a great defense. And then you have Oklahoma. Their top-graded player is only 18th in the entire playoff. It's Neville Gallimore, an interior defensive lineman who just is pretty good against the run. How big of an issue is the Oklahoma D?
I was going to say, you got 6 to 7 guys in Alabama getting first-round, second-round hype on that defense, and then Oklahoma defense, it's like crickets. It's like, is some guy going to get drafted on this? Because it really just has been an issue for them all season long. They already fired the defensive coordinator midseason. Didn't seem to impact them whatsoever. They haven't really played better since then. So that, to me, is the thing, because going up against Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, the speed that Alabama brings to the table offensively is utterly ridiculous. And then Tua Tagovailoa doesn't have a strong arm, but placement on the deep balls is fantastic, and there's going to be some deep balls for him to take advantage of.
Yeah, that's the challenge for Oklahoma here, because Alabama has 5 legitimate NFL caliber pass catchers, including true freshman Jalen Waddle, and they're just too tough to cover. And they play a Big 12 style of offense, which is we're going to attack down the field. If you're going to play, we play this quarters coverage where you're going to get one-on-one across the secondary, they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to chuck it deep. So I do think Oklahoma's best chance is kind of hoping Tua's banged up, right? I mean, that he plays like he did in the SEC championship, where he was banged up and he was just a little slow as far as his decision-making goes. Are you expecting Alabama to move the ball just nonstop against this Oklahoma D?
Yes, I do. I think it's going to be early season Alabama where it's just you're basically treading water if you're not keeping up score for score. If you're not scoring every possession as Oklahoma, you're losing. Because I think that's how good Alabama's offense is, how much they bring to the table, and how pretty much they can beat you in any way, shape, or form they want to. And just Oklahoma, you just have to play a brand of football, Oklahoma, that's going to be maybe hope for one pick, one fluke play. You really have to take some chances. You really have to take some chances as a defense with some either blitzes or something to do that. Because if you're just playing your base coverages all season or all game long, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, the number 3 pass rusher, Curtis Bolton, number 3 in pressures for Oklahoma. He's a linebacker. He's only blitzed 85 times, but has still gotten home 26 times with pressure.
Yeah.
It's that type of stuff, is maybe sending that extra rusher and trying to disrupt to his timing. You got a prediction for this one?
I got Alabama, something like 42-30.
42-30? All right, not bad. Should be an interesting game. Should be a fun one. Don't forget to check out the Halftime $1 Million Challenge. It's all brought to you by Eckrich, the official smoked sausage of the College Football Playoff.